So the Gwent Community Balance Council came out today, and as usual I figured we'd just make a quick little tier list. I am actually going to be quick this time, I promise. Go through each card real fast, just first impressions only. That way I can be wrong more, you guys can tell me I'm wrong in the comments, because that's always funny. So let's go take a look. Tiers are same as always. Top tier changes I think are really great. They have some sort of deck implication for like a potentially making a deck viable, or they like address a deck that's problematic. Good changes are changes I think are good. Neutral changes are ones I don't really care one way or the other about, either because I'm not too sure about the deck or the card, or because I just don't know how it'll work out, or I don't care about the card in particular. Questionable. These are things that I think could be good, but probably aren't. These are more like, this is like neutral, but I don't think it's good. Like neutral minus. Bad are changes I think are bad, and I hate this tier. Well, stuff goes in there. Let me just fix my colors real quick, and let's just get into it. See what we can do. So first up, Ithilien going to 9 provisions. Did I just move the tiers too? Wow, I'm really on today, aren't we? You guys love this, I'm sure. All right, there we go. Ithilien is not neutral though. She is a good change. I like this. She doesn't see play. Golden Necker might not be the most exciting deck type, but Golden Necker versus Renfree, at least having some kind of options for hand buff, I like it. Speaking of that, we have Aglace, right in the same tier. I'm a little less high on Aglace than Ithilien, because she does have some options, some viability, and Golden Necker with hand buff might be okay, but I mean, if there's 2 options, not just Renfree hand buff, I would like that, so I think this is probably good. It is potentially a strong card at 9, though. Next up, we have the Naglfar. I mean, alright, let's be honest here. Everything that is a thinning card, anything else here along these lines, doing real quick here. All of these thinning cards, I really don't care one way or the other for. I know, I personally would not have chosen to buff all the thinning cards. However, all the thinning cards are being buffed, so that's just that, and I don't really care. It's just how it's going to be. All the thinning cards are getting buffed, that's fine. We'll love to see an Ermion on here as well, because alchemies are one of my favorites, but they're all going to neutral. Then we have Frog Mating Season. Really like this card. Those of you who watched last season, I think last season we made the Prison Pendant Golden Necker deck. We gained a provision there. Really fun deck. I love that one. But yeah, this card doesn't see too much play. Really help movement get some play. Movement Scoia'tael. Kind of missing out on that for a while. And speaking of that, we have Tramp Boar. Debating here. We'll put it in top tier. We're just going in top tier because this is probably my second favorite designed card in the entire game after Kraken. Just love the card design. And this is a card that I remember when I was not a content creator yet, I don't think. And this card came out, and I heard how it was the best gold in the game, and wow, it's fallen off. But anyway, yeah, 6 for 6 with some damage potential, synergies, works with movement, love movement, want to see movement get some attention here. So it's probably deserves being good by putting top 3 because I love this card so much. Fair card, good change. Hopefully help out spying a little bit because this was never played. Duchess Informant. I was a little neutral on this one. The more of I thought about it is no one ever plays Duchess Informant. They play like 1 so they can make it with the Brothans. No one ever actually seriously plays Duchess Informant. I tried to and it didn't work out, but maybe Pure Assimilate gets some buffs here. Pure Assimilate is a deck I don't enjoy playing too much because of mirror matches and because I'm not very good at it. But it is a pretty fun deck, I think, overall. So we'll put this in here. I don't think this will be a problem. Although it is potentially a little scary, but there's nowhere in between, right? It's either going to be 4 or 5. And 4 is playable and 5 doesn't see play. I'll try it out for this. Next up, Rodea getting a buff. Probably good. You've seen people cut her in Shoop decks. I feel like if you're in a Shoop deck, she should be good enough to include. So, the deck building conditions are what? Like the deck building condition decks are Golden Necker with the 9 or less, which is very strong. Then you've got Renfree, which is very strong. And then you have like Shoop Rodea. If Rodea doesn't make it into that deck, I think she needs to be buffed. That's kind of where we're at. We're getting a buff. Junior, I don't know about Junior. I think Junior is fine, but Devotion, I guess actually Devotion became a little less desirable. All the bounty decks play Heatwave now, so maybe this was good. Even I played Heatwave. Like we didn't play Devotion anything really. All right, we'll not there. We'll give him a good for now, but between neutral and good for me. But I can see the argument here. I like the idea of incentivizing devotion, so for that reason, we'll give it good. All right, next up we have Melina. Really great change. She got a power. By the way, if you don't know what the changes are, I think I mentioned most of them. Mostly these are provisions so far. We got Melina, 6 for 6 now. Not super easy to remove, but she doesn't get a ton of value. It's just a movement. It's not like a problematic engine most of the time. But yeah, this is just really useful utility, and movement decks can really use this. And I like cards like this with a lot of utility. So glad to see your chance. Hopefully this lets movement, along with these two, makes movement a viable deck again. We have Nausea. Okay, not even talk about it. Anyway, we've got Nilfgaardian Knight. Good change there. Gained power. We like to see it. Don't see this card at all, and I would like to see it more. Diviner is a really great change. I think we'll put it in top tier, just because it gives Nilfgaard an in-faction Purify that isn't terrible. All the other Purifies in the game, like, they're all 4 provisions, right? The bronze ones. There's obviously a lot of factions have 6 provision gold that has a Purify and some other effect. But Nilfgaard didn't. They had Diviner, and at 4 for 5, it was bad. So you literally never see this card. So I think it's good for be at 5 for 5. Knight Errant. I'm neutral on Knight Errant because it's a very strong card, but you don't see Knights played. And because you don't see Knights played, I guess here's the thing: at 3 power, if it gets 2 points right away, it goes to 6 and can't get removed at bronze removals outside of Mastercrafted Spear, which sees more play now as stuff goes to 6. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, I think this is probably good. Yeah, Knights just aren't viable. I guess this helps Knights and only Knights, so for that reason we'll give it good. But yeah, I guess so. This is a scary card though. Like, it's very good when it works, and getting it to 6 power right away, I'm not a huge fan of, but we'll give it good because we're in a good mood today. +1 power on these guys, very good. Making them 4 for 4 didn't work because of Eventide. Making them 5 for 5, I think, is the answer then. And I thought it was the answer back then too. Okay, Fallen Knight. This one almost has a discussion, but since we're speedrunning this first impressions, we're not going to have the discussion. We're just going to say that Fallen Knight at 5 for 5 is one of the best engine cards in the entirety of the game. But the deck it is in is very linear, and it is not very good. I don't like the approach of just buffing the best card or key card in the deck just to try and force the deck to be good, because this gained a provision a while back too, right? However, Firesworn is kind of bad, so I guess this is the easiest way to buff it. It's just to force its best card, key card, to be like really strong. I'm not sure I like that, so we're gonna leave this one in. No, we'll put it up here. I mean, the deck's not viable. I needed something. I guess we'll try this. This and Knight Errant, by the way, like borderline neutral to good for me. Kind of leaning towards we'll just put them in good because the decks aren't bad. If these decks were good or like reasonable, they obviously don't need these. But since the decks aren't good, we'll just give them benefit of the doubt for now. Hound, on the other hand, is a good change. This thing never saw play in Wild Hunt. Oak lost a power. Did I move bad and questionable? I sure did, didn't I? We're doing a really great job today. Okay. We fixed it. Anyway, Oak, I don't like losing a power. It was obviously pretty strong as the mid-range finisher type card in the Renfree Precision Strike deck. But Renfree, I think, is the problem, not Oak, because if Oak was the problem, you'd see it in Dwarves and stuff. It sometimes sees play in Dwarves, and I played it in Symbiosis, but like, it was just really abused by the Renfree deck, and I think you hit the Renfree stuff instead, but this has nothing to do with Oak being my favorite card in the game. I promise you guys. I don't know if it needed this nerf, and it's back to where it was before it was buffed and saw no play. So, next up, Phoenix. I don't like the Phoenix change. The Phoenix was abused by double Madoc bombs, right? I don't think Phoenix was the problem anyway in that deck. I think it was the Letho Kingslayer and the Madoc getting duplicated, not the Phoenix. The Phoenix was just another tool. Phoenix saw no play in any other deck in the game, so I don't like this. And the problem with it at 4 is it dies. The problem with the Phoenix at 4 is it gets banished by Northern Wind and also Cyprien Wily, so it's going to see like literally 0 play again, I think. Unless Madoc Bomb still tries to be a thing. But I don't like this one. This, on the other hand, is good. Speaking of that deck, we'll just do them all at once. Madoc is on here, I think, right? He can provision. I forgot to put him on here. I'm pretty sure he's on here. There he is. So Madoc gained a provision. Lethal Kingslayer lost the power. Sapper lost the power. I think these were the changes to bombs that we needed. Although I would have hit Slave Driver maybe inside of this one. Well, I voted for this one, but I also voted for Slave Driver. But I just don't think Phoenix was the play here. I think these were the ones to hit. But whatever. It is what it is. Idarin, I don't really care. Idarin's like an abusive card that if you can't kill it, you lose. So making it easier to kill by putting it at 5 makes it easier to interact with those decks, but I don't really care one way or the other. On the other hand, Trahearn, I do hate this card a lot. But never saw it anyway at 4 power. But I don't really care. Mill's a... well, we'll say something about Mill. Mill, you guys will see. Anyway, I think this was probably warranted for the Chariot. I think I voted for this. Chariot, just as armor got better and better, this got better and better. And yeah, it's still solid in Dwarves, but it is not going to hang out as long to give armor out. Musicians of Blaviken. This card is super strong. Like, people really sleep on Musicians of Blaviken. It lost the power, but it's still incredibly good. The video I'm making on thinning, I made the one in card draw. The thinning video is coming out pretty soon. The fact that this comes out of your deck prior to your first round, it's a round 0 thinning. There's like 3 of these in the game. They're incredibly strong, just for consistency of your deck. So this card is actually really, really good. I think people just don't appreciate it, or it's kind of hard to play decks without 4 vision cards, which, to be fair, is probably more likely than people sleeping on it. This card is super good. So I think it warranted the nerf here. Plus, it's like a Renfree card. Like, Renfree Soldiers played this. Nothing that I ever played that played this was like Prism Pendant Necker, which is a really cool deck. Okay, we've got this. I guess we'll put it here. I don't like the reversion to this. I don't know why this is. After the first week, I didn't see any decks using this card. I guess people just didn't like that it was a 5. It should have gone to 5 for 5, like 5 power, 5 provisions. But it's knocking it back to 4 how it was is, I think, kind of dumb. Because now it's where it was before, and now it's on no play. I think make it 5 for 5 was the answer. Everyone just says, no, we can't have this. It was too good at 5. And then we just revert it, which I think is stupid. Next up, we have Flotsam going 10 provisions. Warranted. This card was super abusive. And Golden Necker with this as its its artifact, incredibly strong. So I think this is definitely should have happened. I almost want to put this one. I'll put this one top tier. I think that's a really great change. Next up, we have Iris Companions, probably also top tier. As thinning gets better and better, Iris's Companions got better and better. And this really enabled all the strong Renfree decks to find the Renfree in a condition with the 4% thinning cards. So balancing out the ease of the 4% thinning cards, getting your Renfree super easy, makes it a little more expensive. I think that's good. Then we have you guys, Temerian Infantry, I believe you are. You're going to go in good. At 5 provisions, just unconditional point slam from this was too high. So just needed this. Then we've got Sigvald, probably good change. Or neutral change. It's Self-Wound. Self-Wound is a reasonable deck, but I think Kara Troll Day is the annoying problem card, not Sigvald. So I'm going to put him in neutral, but yeah, I think I'm neutral on this one. Ulrich is a good change. Just more buff to Firesworn, more Fallen Knights that are even stronger now. Firesworn just has a problem that will always be answered by Wide Punish, so yeah, I think this is good. It's definitely, I'm way more a fan of this change than the Fallen Knight one. Because again, you didn't really play Devotion in Firesworn because of stuff like Serikon. And we've got Literally, I didn't like this change. I feel like at 14, is she worth 14? She might be worth 14. We'll put her in questionable. She might be worth 14, but I mean, come on. I think if you're playing Literally, the problem card isn't Literally. I think it's Traveling Priestess. So I don't know about this one. Maybe make Traveling Priestess a 5 instead. I think she's much more the problem card than Literally is. Because you see her being abused with decks without the Literally as well. But maybe she's worth 14 provisions. I'm just not too sure on this one. Oh yeah, top tier, toppest tier, highest tier of all time. No, that's not true. We've had worse things than this. But yeah, Renfree going to 15 provisions. She's warranted, like, at 15 provisions, right? She's the strongest like unit play in the game. She should be the most expensive unit. That's just how this is. But yeah, Renfree super abusive. Best deck last patch, probably Precision Strike Renfree. One of the best ones at least. And yeah, super annoying. But yeah, this top tier. And then I guess this is just going along with the other thinning cards, right? This is a thinning thing. But this card does more than just thinning, but it requires Dwarf or Crown Splitter. I believe it's Crown Splitter. So yeah, I think fine, whatever. And lastly, the leaders. Let's go. This one here, this one here, this one here. I don't like all the buffs to leaders. I feel like we just buff cards instead. I feel like these are wasting slots we could be doing something with. Especially Patricidal Fury. Like, why are we buffing Patricidal Fury? It's already super strong. True. What this really does is it gives an extra provision to the Sov Renfree Beast decks, which, you know, we took a provision away from Renfree and just gave it back with this for Skellige, which I think is silly. But I already thought Patricidal Fury is a good leader. I don't think it needed a buff. Of these, like, this is going to 16. Sure, Collusion Devotion is one of my favorites. Well, is my favorite Syndicate deck, but I don't know if it needed a provision here. And this one, I don't know about the leader provisions. Whatever. That's what I think. First impressions of this patch. We tried to be quick, much quicker than usual. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with our tier list here? Do you have your own changes? Actually, let's do this. What are your guys' favorite and least favorite change from everything here? So let me know what those are in the comments, because I'm curious. But that'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.